live from Audio Mac Studios, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, for WhoMag TV. Sidechaining is a common technique that us dance producers use to create that pumping effect. Alright, so I'm going to open up a session in Logic. I actually started one. And what we're going to do is, let me mute everybody out because I've kind of put together something for you already. Alright, so let's say we start with a session that's 126 beats per minute. As I set it down here, I'm going to take a kick drum sample, just a 4 on the floor kick drum, and I'm going to play it. Very common in today's electronic music. It's very standard. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another track right below it, which I did right here, and I'm going to make a duplicate of this kick drum sample. So right underneath on this next track is an identical performance of this kick drum. So let me just solo that. And actually, I'm going to unmute that. I have it muted, and I'll explain why. All right, good. What we're going to do is we're going to mute this second kick drum out, and we're going to change the output to nothing. No output. I can even unmute it at this point because you're not going to hear anything. And I like to label everything to keep organized. So I labeled the kick track, obviously kick, no brainer. I labeled the duplicate kick track the sidechain kick, or S-chain kick, or SC kick, whatever you can remember. All right, so now I'm going to play it back, and you're still only going to hear the first kick. So even when I solo the second kick, you're not hearing anything because I set the output to nothing. All right, good. The next step is to create a bass line or an instrument that you want to have that pumping effect. So typically, you start out with a good bass line, and you want the notes that are coinciding when the kick hits to duck out of the way. So I'm going to turn off the effects that I have on here. I'm going to turn off my compressor, and I'm just going to play the bass line by itself. Alright, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the kick and the bass line together so you can hear how they're working together right now. The bass is kind of just straight. It's not pumping. It's just a bland performance. No effects, nothing. Alright, so in this case, I'm going to open a compressor on the bass line. So I already set one up here. Here's my compressor. And what you're going to do is, most compressors in today's workstations contain a portion up here. It's called sidechaining. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to set the sidechain to the sidechain kick track that we labeled. The next thing you want to do is you want to set your compressor to the peak. And start bringing your ratio up and bring your threshold down. Now you're going to have to play with a lot of these other settings to get it exactly right for the tempo that your song's at. So I'm going to press play, and now you should hear the bass pumping a little bit more. So, for those of you who are kind of like a little bit lost, like trying to figure out what it's doing, every time that kick hits and that bass line hits together, that bass line is reduced by, let me see, in this case, the threshold is at -30. We have the bass line being reduced by about 3 dB at the point when the kick is hitting. So, another thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to work with the attack, work with the release to get the exact rhythm of the pumping effect. So let's mess around with it for a second. There's no right or wrong, it's just all depends on how you want the track to feel. You can move the knee from soft to hard. I like it right around there. The ratio you can bring up. Open the threshold just a little bit. Alright, cool. So we got that. And one last thing. To bring this bass line to life, beyond the sidechaining, I like to add a little delay right before the sidechain, so that the compressor will also affect the delay. So now I'll play it with delay. So it pulsates just a little bit better than it would without the sidechain compression. And I can actually play that just so you can hear one more time what the delay would sound like on the bass with no sidechain compression. So let me bypass the compressor and press play. The bass just, I hear the notes and it feels kind of straight. It's not pulling in and out, so. Now I'll put the compressor back on. That's it. That is sidechain compression for all you new guys out there. Who Mag Television, Mr. Mig, Audio Mac Studios. Peace.